Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Nicky broadcast. Today we are doing something completely different, and we are playing Isar's Cross. This is one of the most imbalanced maps in the game, and it's going to be fun because we are going to take lots of risks. Of course, we will be playing seriously in the sense that we'll be playing for victory. However, I will be definitely on the aggressive side to test the limits of this map. You see a lot of banter here going on in this chat. I think my teammate is Italian. I'm not sure. I know a bit of Italian, but not that much. Okay, so let's do this. I am dwarf, so let me just say this. Okay, so you see here there are a lot of villages plus a castle, right? So I will say that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you look at this is absolutely ridiculous. Dwarves here have a lot of defense, so as long as we can grab these villages, then we should be absolutely fine. Now, I could try to basically spice it up a bit with a Griffin Rider, see what my opponent is. It's intelligent, quick, so it's an incredibly useless recruit. And I will be going with Dwarvish Fighters, Dwarvish Fighters, Dwarvish Fighters. I wasn't kidding when I said mass Dwarvish Fighters. I really want to see how well I fare with this strategy. He can go Mass Thunderers, not a problem. But Dwarvish Fighters are incredibly cost efficient, right? They are better. There's no point in recruiting Guardsmen, to be honest. Guardsmen is for wide open maps where you are playing versus Orc Rush, for example, and you basically have a Guardsman on one village and then nothing can go through. Here, it just feels like it's really not necessary. You will always have some sort of terrain, right? So because it's just such a clumped map, so it will be okay. So it's just, of course, we are just having fun. We are exploring, so we are not in the phase where we are let's say perfecting our strategy. Let me see here. It's Red's turn, doesn't matter. So we are being creative, right? We don't play this map that often. Nobody expects us to have a it's difficult to say on this map if you are a good player you will win. Why? Because it's so clumped up. Therefore, it's incredibly difficult to balance the map out. Probably the map is not balanced. Dwarves are incredibly strong here simply because of the short distances and the clump of terrain for which dwarves have. Oh, nice. Dwarves versus drakes. This is going to be incredibly fun. Probably mass fighters. Probably mass fighters is not the best option now if I think about it. It'd be perhaps better to have mass thunderers, but then again, let's see here. Healthy, resilient. 3-1. That should do it. However, don't want to. Guess this is good enough. We'll be getting this village though. Simply because my opponent should be able to hold this village. Well, not quite. Not quite. But okay, and there we go. 14. I probably won't be able to recruit next turn, so might as well be a bit aggressive. If there is some sort of nonsense coming from my opponent, I would be able to address it with my leader. Let's see here. Now, this is a bit risky here, simply because the drake, the drake bunch can attack at night, right? So I'm kind of stuck here with the griffin. I can't really go back. So yeah, it's just I'm sitting duck here before the dwarvish fighters come to reinforce. Oh. Anyway, so we are going to answer to Halder, of course, and again we are going to basically get this clump of terrain, and as you can see, we are not in a hurry to get the water village. Probably I can easily leave this village by going here with the griffin and then pushing my fighters forward. That shouldn't be a problem. And I doubt he will grab this, because the only unit he will have available to grab this particular village would be either a clasher or a Saurian. Either way, a clasher at night, not that strong. Saurian doesn't really matter if it's night or day. A Saurian would be would only have 50% defense in a village. Therefore, would be more than useless. Okay. So I expect us. I expect definitely our strategy is basically park our dwarves in these in this terrain here and wait for drakes to come at us, basically. Then keep reinforcing this clump of land, and once we reach a critical mass, then I guess move forward, attack this village. I'm not really sure what to say about this remark here. Good recruits, of course. Thunderers are absolutely fantastic. But they can die to clashes, I feel. However, because this has a lot of good terrain for dwarves and thunderers, then dying to clashes, it's not a problem, I feel. Now, in terms of what to do on this side, I am tempted to put this dwarvish fighter here. So I am going to go this way, and I am going to go this one here. I doubt that he will make a move for my fighter, to be honest. I have Thunderous coming for me. And this leader will be able to recruit next time, so I might as well take it back. So again, as you can see, I'm being incredibly passive, incredibly boring for the time being, but things should get interesting because we are going versus 2 Drakes. So either way, Drakes should be the ones having the initiative, right? There's no way Dwarves will be attacking versus Drakes first. It would be only later on when Dwarves would be able to take the initiative after recruiting a lot of sturdy units, right? So it would be interesting to see what Drake opts for. Do they opt for an attack at night? Do they opt for an attack during the day? I guess it remains to be seen. However, the problem with these Saurians, I mean, the Saurians are absolutely fantastic versus Thunderous. You might argue, wait a minute, Neki, Thunderous can deal a 14 damage to the Augurs. Yeah, sure, but if the Augurs attack from 60%, they're not going to get 14 damage retaliation from the Thunder. Plus, it's 14 damage, it's not 18, right? So they do have resilience to pierce attacks. So, still not taking this village here. So it's a bit hurting us. It's a bit hurting our income. But again, we don't want to be giving them free units at this point, right? And we can't really, we don't have the mobility, necessary mobility through this water here to basically plus the rain is actually quite good for Drakes. It's not very appealing for Dwarves. So Talos is actually playing really well, and it's I mean, we do have issues here because they are 1 village ahead. However, I believe on this map, kills are priority. So as long as we can keep our unit count high, even if we reach that critical supply slower than our opponents, it's still fine, right? I mean, it's still fine as long as we can basically wait for them in this kind of terrain here. Well, judging based on this terrain, it would be better for Drakes to actually go a lot of Saurians, right? They can ignore that high dwarvish defense, but at the same time, Saurians are incredibly squishy when it comes to fighting dwarvish fighters, right? So it's basically excellent target practice for these dwarvish fighters. So, but if you think about it, all this clump of land has 60% defense for all Saurians, whereas the dwarvish fighters have only 30, 20, 40. I mean, only these have 60. So it's, one can argue the case for Drakes. What could argue the case for dwarvish fighters? In my opinion, dwarvish fighters win. I mean, it's just they are meatier, right? So with such meaty units, I mean, sure, you can be unlucky, but statistically, meaty units on high defense always win. So from a statistical perspective, I would say recruiting mass dwarvish fighters would increase your chances of winning. I don't see any other unit that could fight dwarvish fighters on these hills. For example, he could come with his burners, right? Fire is incredibly effective versus dwarvish fighters. However, the dwarvish fighters will have 60% defense, whereas the burners will have 40% at most. Now, if the dwarvish fighters do try an attack here on 30%, then the dynamics completely changes. So there is some level of skill involved. Don't get me wrong. So this map is not completely skill agnostic. So there is some level of skill involved from the players. But as long as I manage to stay here, there's always the question: you have to be really precise? That's the difficulty of this map. You might say, "Oh, Dwarvish fighters, I'm absolutely fantastic. I'm awesome. I will just move forward." Well, if I move forward, you have to understand that I only have 3 Dwarvish fighters now, and I can't really be forming a line if I'm pushing my unit onto that castle. It might seem inviting. Oh, there's a 60% castle here. Take it. But there's no potential for me to form a line. Whereas here, I can help myself with right. I can have this mate. He has a mate here on 60%, 60%. So suddenly, the line looks a bit better, right? So I mean, also scout because it's such a small map. Might as well scout. He's going for skirmishes, which is odd, to be honest. Skirmishes are the single worst unit versus anything, really. I mean, arguably you could say skirmishes are good versus thunderers, right? But they are weak versus Dwarvish fighters. Plus, if they do attack with melee, a thunderer on 60%, thunderers, although they are classed as ranged units, 7-2 dagger. I mean, look at this strong, resilient, strong Dwarvish thunderer. It's nothing to be joked about. I mean, blade attacks versus skirmishes, they do benefit from that bonus damage. Now, I am going to move my leader forward. There's absolutely no reason not to. So, if he's going to try, again, a scary attack on my units, he's going to have to deal with the retaliation from my absolutely awesome leader. So, just contributing to the general banter in chat. And I am going to go mass Dwarvish fighters. I believe that this will prove there is a balance issue on this map. Of course, now unit diversity is important, but my opponent going mass thunderers, that is contributing in a way to unit diversity. Now, there is no reason why I couldn't be recruiting 2 Dwarvish Thunderers more, and he could be recruiting 2 Dwarvish Fighters more. So we would have, in total, the same number of melee units and the same number of ranged units. However, we would both be benefiting from that diversity, because as it stands, we can get in a really difficult situation where I do need on my flank, I do need the Dwarvish Thunderer, and I do need the Dwarvish Thunderer to initiate, and then based on the fact whether the Dwarvish Thunderer hits its target, or hits his target or misses. I mean, if the Dwarvish Thunderer hits, then I basically go all in with my fighters, because fighters going, for example, versus this Drake fighter, they will suffer a lot of retaliation damage from the Drake fighter. However, if I do have a potential Thunderer to soften up the Drake fighter before I go in with with my Dwarvish fighters, then I would basically minimize the amount of retaliation damage that I would absorb, right? So, but since I don't have any Thunderers, then I will be stuck in a non-creative attack pattern, right? I would basically need to always get damage from this Drake fighter. However, if I do attack at night, obviously the Drake fighter would deal less retaliation damage. So from this perspective, I don't understand why he is not taking this particular village. I believe that would have been a strong choice. I would take it since he is a bit hesitating there. I'm just going to say so it would be safe this turn. I mean, this particular burner is not dealing that amount of damage. I mean, he will be dealing 5-4, which is still I would say nothing to be joked, nothing to be laughed at, right? So, but then he will be subjected to a lot of retaliation damage. Don't particularly agree with his logic, to be honest. He would have had the option to deal a lot of retaliation damage now. So, I mean, sure, you could say, oh, too many Drake units here, so I shouldn't be pushing my units forward. Yeah, too many Drake units, I shouldn't be pushing this Dwarvish fighter on the 60% veil, just simply because it feels like I'm throwing my unit into a meat grinder, right? But if I do stop the Dwarvish fighter on this 60% hill, then it would be it would be better, because he would have to advance his units. He would have to basically expose himself to my attacks. So I would get something in return. Plus, he would have probably to finish off this Dwarvish fighter. You'd have to go here on 40%, which is a terrible positioning. I mean, it gives me a lot of area of attack. So I'm still edging forward. I'm just not going all in, right? So should be fine. Now, it's really interesting to see. I mean, we are playing reactively because we are slow. Our units are slow. All our units are slow. So we are playing reactively. So at this point, it's interesting to see how Drake is actually playing. You're saying ladder is boring, but ladder is the place where players basically do their best 1v1. So if you want a high quality game, just go on, I believe it's called wesnoth.gamingladder.info, and create an account, and you will have like-minded players that really try hard and really try to push the game to its limits. It's basically where you can fully enjoy the complexity, the full complexity of the game. It's like a chess rated game, right? It's similar. You can advance through the ranks, and you can basically measure your understanding and your understanding of the game. So I personally think that, but it's just again, this is just a personal preference. I personally think that, for example, playing, I'm going to just say a random number, playing 10 games just to have fun is boring to me. There are people who enjoy that, but to me it's boring, because if you play, let's say you are tired, you want to play a game, then tomorrow you want to play another game, then the day after tomorrow you're going to play another game, and so on and so forth, and next week you're going to play another game, and 2 weeks from now another game. You're basically going to forget what the game is about, and you'll be just superficial, right? So it's basically you're just blowing off steam, right? But if, for example, let's say you play only chess, and today you're tired, you play a game of chess, next week you are also in the mood for a bit of relaxation, you play another game of chess, and after 1 year of now and then playing chess, you are going to be quite good at it. You will understand subtleties that otherwise you would miss if you'd only play, if you just play for fun, let's say. So, even when you have fun, I believe you shouldn't be superficial, right? You should try to have fun the proper way, let's say. But again, this is just my take on it, I guess. Okay, so for example, here, Wesnoth, since we are playing it, right, since we are relaxing and playing it, we might as well try to understand it and try to play optimally. just don't move units around and see what happens. Try to think before you move units around. So for example here, we have a great chance to attack this quick, resilient skirmisher. We could make use of our blade attacks. Not really sure here. Intelligence strong. Well, it's not the best, to be honest. Not the best target. I mean, we could also go for this this clasher here, but again, not be the best target. Wow. Plus, if we attack, we would get a lot of retaliation, right? So I'm thinking here: intelligent, strong, intelligent, quick. Not really sure here what. Wow. Intelligent, quick only. I feel that we could actually go for this Saurian skirmisher, so just gonna try. Just feels like a good target. Okay, I got a lot of damage in, right? But let me see how far he can reach. 23, so I'm just gonna go for. Okay, that was a lot of damage in. However, I am going to keep pushing here. Let me see how far I can reach. Intelligence strong 9-3 6-4. Feel that I should be just staying on my village and be happy. Alright. Now I highly doubt this particular skirmisher will grab this village here. But who knows? Now I'm thinking an augur. I mean, sorry, not an augur. I'm thinking an Oathseeker or a Oathseeker to try to discourage some of these Saurian augurs. Right? Just like my opponent did, also try to discourage the skirmisher, because if he does take this village, I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can attack him from here after attacking with a leader. So I'm basically resilient, healthy. That's, I'd say, decent combination of stats. Problem is now I can't be recruiting more dwarvish fighters, right? So I'll just set some labels here. Team only. And I would say try to get this particular So it's important now to communicate with your teammates. So that is an important aspect of 2v2. So I would say if he comes here and kills the Oathseeker, anyway, he could cover and he could perhaps even go for, wow, he could try and recruit. and then push his Thunder Guard forward. Anyway, we are in a terrible position, but we, especially since I got a lot of retaliation in. I mean, I guess this Saurian skirmisher did his job. Yeah, he basically retaliated, right? Now, as I said, Dwarvish fighters are absolutely fantastic. However, on 30%, they die quite easily, as you saw here. Now, remains to be seen. My teammate needs to help me out with this Thunder here from 60%, and probably this Osaka definitely needs to basically dispatch of this skirmisher, right? So, and then he needs to cover the skirmisher. This particular placement here of the Griffin Rider, not the best, I'm telling you now, because it's right next to the village, and this is really important here. He got the kill, that is great. Now, will he grab the village with his Thunderer, and then I would say place this other Thunderer here, and not really sure, to be honest. It's going to be difficult to defend. They will probably go for my Griffin Rider, which is an expensive unit, and it's going to be wasted, unfortunately. Probably shouldn't have attacked there, but wow. Again, it's important to if we really wanted to win, and this was a tournament, I would say we should have been we should have just taken this particular hill, then this particular village, and we should have waited for them to attack, right? This would have been the right thing to do, instead of look how much retaliation that skirmisher did. He could still kill the Olsika with this skirmisher. Oh, that was terrible there. Now, remains to be seen. Oh, Thunderer. What did the Thunderer do? Did the Thunder God move? How much gold does he have? Don't quite understand here. What is he doing with the Thunder God? He should have gone back and recruited. That is going to be tricky. Because 60% here is just... That's just going to be a dead Olfsiker. Anyway, I'm just going to clear labels. And remains to be seen now what purple would do. And it's important to notice here that the order of the units does matter, right? So normally you would want to have these augurs hitting first this Griffin Rider, right? But because purple is the one playing first, then he can't really make use of both these augurs, right? So you'd have to use one augur, then he would be forced to use other types of units, and then he would be forced to use the second augur later on, when he does not know, he might not have the best use. So let's say we are talking about this Dwarvish fighter, healthy, resilient, 45. Normally, you would want to basically use this Drake Burner and these two augurs on the Dwarvish fighter, let's say from these 3 slots, and then you would assess, have these 3 units dealt a lot of damage? is the Dwarvish fighter injured enough? If yes, I can basically use one Drake fighter or even a skirmisher or even a Drake clasher. I could use any of those to finish off the Dwarvish fighter simply because retaliation is not a problem anymore, right? So this can be the case. But because he has to attack first with purple, then he would basically only be able to use one auger. So coming back to our analysis, basically he would have to basically attack with the auger and then he will be stuck. I mean, if he wanted to, okay, so he's going for Griffin, right? And anyway, with these amount of hits, so basically I have a lot of damage taken, plus 32%. So with these hits, there's basically nothing we can do. Plus, Griffin Rider is an expensive unit, and that was an intelligent, quick Griffin Rider. So, yeah. Anyway, remains to be seen. Yeah. Don't need Griffin Riders anymore because scouting on this map is pretty much natural. It comes naturally, right, as we chain our Dwarvish fighters. Okay, you see this Thunderer dealt quite a lot of damage in retaliation to the Skirmisher, right? So even if theoretically the Thunderer is a ranged unit, as you saw, blade attacks versus skirmishers really hurt. I mean, they hurt the skirmisher, obviously. Okay, so healthy resilient, that is going to regenerate 2 hit points. And that's basically not going to do anything. At this point, this Dwarvish Ulfseeker is also not going to do much. It's a deterrent more than anything, of course. I'll put him here far away from enemy units, perhaps even here, I would say, far away from these melee units, trying to basically threaten these augurs. Now, back to red player. Red player can, I mean, he's out of Saurians, but he can use successfully the Drake Fighter on the Dwarvish Ulfseeker if he does want to get rid of this Ulfseeker. Not sure if he does. He could also be using his leader would be a waste on the Ulfseeker. He could also be using this Clasher here. Clasher would be actually the best versus Ulfseeker. On 30% from here, it would more than I mean, I would say it's 100%. Clasher would win, and Clasher would not suffer a lot of damage in the process. Plus, remember, we are fighting on flat, so we are at a disadvantage just simply because we are not leveraging the full power of dwarves. He's going to soften up this Ulfseeker. I don't necessarily agree with this. I mean, he could have just gone with the Clasher and that's it. Now he'll have to use the fighter from 20% and he will be in a terrible position. Plus, now the Ulfseeker can kill the Augur on the village. Of course, the Augur on the village will move. There's no doubt about that. Really, really curious about softening up this Ulfseeker. It just doesn't make much sense, if you ask me. And now he can't, he doesn't really, I mean, he does have the clasher here. And the clasher can, okay, he's going for it. This is an important fight. Well, it wasn't that bad, to be honest, for him. It could have been worse. But now I believe this Drake fighter is more or less dead. We lost quite a lot of units there. I lost one. He lost, I believe, also one. If my memory is not terrible. 1, 1, 1. Okay, that's not too bad. Now, I'm keen on just destroying these. Oh, that was just terrible. I feel that that should have been a kill. Definitely, surely that should have been a kill. Well, at least I hit 3 out of 3 here, so that's a plus. And now I can just keep going. Again, if we're going for the attack, we might as well use absolutely everything we have, right? It's a pity that this was the one who got the actual experience, right? But if there will be a kill on the skirmisher, he can basically keep pushing and perhaps kill the augur as well. So the problem is, I mean, dwarves do have high defense, but they are also, I mean, dwarvish fighters especially, they are also meaty units. So, okay, this one can reach all the way here. 20%. Okay, I'm not really sure here how I should place my units. Perhaps try this. And then there is a problem with this Ulfsicker. And I should probably recruit a thief, simply because I can't afford anything else. I'll be able to afford another thief later on, but that's all I can afford at the moment. And just push my leader forward simply so that I can reach 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3. Okay, 1, 2, and then I could reach there, so I could attack this village if it comes to it. Now, you might argue this Ulfsicker is absolutely terrible here, but if it does go for the Ulfsicker, I'm going to deal a lot of damage before he can actually kill me, so it shouldn't be that bad. Now, let us see what my teammate is able to do. Let me see here, how much gold? Well, he should shoot this fighter in water, and then 1, 2, and then that should be fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should also, I mean, that should have a decent reach, I would say. Did he shoot? Come on, you should shoot and focus to actually hit this fighter. Great. And now he can basically kill, I mean, with this Thunderer, he can kill the fighter. With this Thunderer, he can kill this, and probably with the Griffin, he can kill the Augur, if he's lucky enough. But we shall see. Oh, he went for the shore kill with the Griffin Rider. But, okay, that was a nice kill, but now he basically has this Thunderer, say here. But, oh, never mind. I guess that's one way to do it. It's pretty good. 28 out of 48. And we have some sort of line there. Nice line here. My opponent actually played better than I proposed, so I'll just clear my labels. And now he should be able to recruit one more and then bring his leader into the fight. Again, softening up the Allseeker, and I'm really curious what he will use now. Probably he will use this Skirmisher from 60%. No, the fighter again. He's hitting quite a lot. Okay, that was those were some nice hits from my Allseeker. If I can manage to get a hold of this particular Drake fighter, then I should be able to deal quite a lot of damage. This particular Drake Clasher cannot get to the village, so that is a plus. And Griffin Rider can help here top, which is absolutely fantastic. He has to worry also about this Dwarvish fighter. He has to attack it somehow, some way. Okay, important here to dodge as much as possible. Not really sure if you go from 60%. Never mind, he got a level 2. And this Saurian Oracle, I can tell you, will hurt. Probably the best answer to the Saurian Oracle would be more fighters and more thieves. Now, I did lose 3 units and I only killed 1. However, my opponent should have killed much more than I did. Plus, I should be able to backstab this Skirmisher, which is, well, it's pretty good. I mean, I should be able to kill lots of units here. I should be able to make use of my Steelclad. So that would be pretty good. Plus, this Saurian Augur is quite vulnerable. Not really sure what Red will do. Red will be in a greater position simply because it will be dawn, so his drakes will be able to deal a lot of damage. I know. The Griffin Rider can help pretty well, so if I manage to get some hits with my Dwarvish Steelclad, then I should be I should be pretty I mean, a great position here. I should be able to actually get, I would say we should be able to kill all these units here. I mean, the Drake fighter is pretty hurt. Now, it all comes down to how many hits will this clasher actually get. This clasher as well. So he's going to go for this 30% Thunderer. There's no doubt about that. With this Drake fighter, with this clasher, probably with the burner as well. Burner has 16 damage. Oh, he healed basically some of the damage, which is just pretty good for him, not for us, definitely. Now, if red doesn't kill 2 units, if red only kills 1 unit, then we are, I believe, I dare to say, we are in a great position. So we would be in a great position. If red kills 2 units, then we are in a dire situation, right? I mean, it's still not unwinnable. We can still come back from it, but it would be really, really difficult if we lose 2 units now. We should probably, okay, there he is. He's trying basically to cover his tracks here. He's trying to prevent the backstab as well. So if he's smart, he would push this 1 more tile forward to prevent the backstab on the skirmisher. Although I expect the skirmisher to die to the Dwarvish Steelclad, to be fair, if I'm completely honest. I mean, this Dwarvish Steelclad should deal a lot of damage. Okay, there is the attack on the Dwarvish Thunderer. So it's looking good so far, I'll be completely honest with you, because this Drake fighter alone wouldn't be able to finish off the Dwarvish Thunderer. So it's looking pretty good. Okay, 2 misses already. This is absolutely fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. This burner will definitely not go for the Thunderer. I mean, if he does go for the Thunderer, the Drake burner will die himself. So that is not going to happen, as you can see. And ladies and gentlemen, now we have ourselves a game. I have 3 losses, 1 kill. My opponent has 3 kills, 1 loss. So I would say now is the time to deal damage, and damage I will deal. Hopefully, I need some hits. Though I need some hits there. It's just a bit sad to see there. So I do need the hits. Now, 2 hits? Of course not. I'm not even sure I should put my thief on for the backstab, right? I should perhaps not use the backstab and stay on 60%, but that just destroy my chances of killing him, right? I need 1 hit. Now, my thief on 40%, that is quite vulnerable, right? So it remains to be seen. Now, in terms of what we are doing on this side, I believe that on this side we can be dealing more damage. I mean, there's no reason not to. I could probably be not really sure here. I mean, I could probably go for this Oracle, or we could go for this Fighter. Let me think about it for a second. I mean, if I could get a lot of hits here on this Drake fighter, then we could be in a good position. But there is always this Fire Drake, which is ready to pounce. So I'm not really sure, to be honest, what would be the best move here. Probably it would be better if I... It would be better if we both retreat at this point, to be honest. Let's try to discourage him from pushing there, right? So let him come, right? It's I mean 3-2, 1-3. If he wants to keep pushing, sure. Let's just exchange units here on this side. Not a problem. I'm happy to keep exchanging units here. He would need to kill the thief first. He would have to use a unit. He would need to basically see. Say strong quick. And this probably is thunder on the village, and then this should hopefully discourage him from doing any more shenanigans on that side. So Griffin could also fly there, and I would say Griffin could attack the clasher. Okay, it's all about discouraging enemy aggression. He's quite wounded, 34, 36. I don't believe he will attack, to be honest. If we kept pushing here, we would have gone into his Fire Drake shooting range, and that would have been terrible. But as it stands, I believe we are fine. It remains to be seen here. I do think that the Griffin should actually attack the Clasher, simply because the Clasher is not strong. And if with a wounded Clasher, he would think twice before staying here. And plus, the Griffin has 50% defense. The Clasher has 40% defense, so it shouldn't be a problem, theoretically. it's important to play aggressive. Show your opponent that you are not scared of him. Right? He will then think twice before he will push on any side of the map. Right? So he will think twice before he will set camp here in my village. So yeah, it's all about discouraging him. So all our units have gone top, right? So it is. Okay, you could also do this. Great, we got 2 out of 2 on the clasher. So now he has a wounded army there. So my opponent has played very aggressively here with the Thunder Guards, and Drake Clasher wounded, Drake Fighter wounded. He actually went for it. He actually went for the village. Oh god, that is just insane amounts of damage from the Oracle. That is incredible amounts of damage from that Oracle. Okay, he went for the Thief instead of finishing off this fighter, which is a bit odd. Again, he wants probably to finish off with the fighter, and ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely unbelievable. This Thief stands, and I believe this is game. You can't come back from it because our defense here stands. He just doesn't have enough units to push through anymore. This Thief basically is closing the gap here, and you can even do these things on Isar. Just to annoy your opponents. So that was actually huge, because now, although this Thief is injured, he can't push through with his Clasher. He can't go around. He can't attack my leader. He can't really do anything. He's basically stuck between this Thief and this Griffin Rider. Surely he can kill the Dwarvish Fighter. I can't prevent him from doing that. He will kill the Dwarvish Fighter. But imagine this Thief leveling up. That would be absolutely fantastic. Now, we do have the Dwarvish Steelclad here with... okay. Now, remains to be seen. Will he go for the leader kill? I highly doubt that. I highly doubt. He would need a lot of hits. He would need... He would need, I think, 3 out of 4 and 3 out of 3. So he needs 7 out of 7, basically. 7 out of 7, or perhaps 6 out of 8. I'm not really sure. But if he misses, then he is in a world of hurt. I highly doubt he'll go for the leader here. Highly doubt. Remains to be seen. But I doubt it. Now, it's... you can basically right now write it down in the comments right now. Go ahead in the comments, right? Will he go for the leader kill? Will he not? And then after, before you see actually what's happening, tell me what you think. I believe he shouldn't go for the leader kill. I believe it's too risky. I mean, he would lose the game up front. So I would say 4-2. What is... He doesn't go, of course. So he didn't go, he went for all these heals, and now the fact that red went for all these heals, suddenly green being in this area is becoming incredibly useful. So we have 1-2 units from green side that can help out. But before he can help out, we also have some blue units ready to deal some damage, right? So it remains to be seen here how to best manage this now. if I'm going for a backstab, then I should... So there are several ways to play this, right? I could be going for example, this clasher. And I should be going for this clasher, I feel. It deals a lot of retaliation damage, but I just feel that it's the right choice, because this clasher needs to die in order to get access to this Saurian Oracle, right? And I can't simply wait for his Thunderers. It's just not how it works, so I'm just going for the clasher. Oh, that was quite painful. Now, considering how it went with the clasher, I could try to also deal some damage here. Okay, now I feel that I do need to use this backstab, so I do need here 2 out of 3 hits. 2 out of 3 hits, great. And now, do I need to use the backstab or not? Apparently not, which is absolutely great. Now, I can do it this way. Great, and I have a level 2 here. And now, basically, we have he has, I mean, my opponent has some nice surface area there. I believe that I should be going for the clasher as well. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely fantastic. 4-4 KD, and now the map is open wide for this, for green to help me. So I would say Thunderer here, and then another Thunderer probably here and on the village. So I would say set label unit, and then set label yet another unit, right? And probably the Griffin Rider should go for the Drake Fighter, and I believe this particular Dwarvish Fighter should help. So send units towards me, please. And yeah, I believe this should be it. I mean, 4-4, and that, ladies and gentlemen, should be game for us. I mean, I don't see him coming back from it if green can get some hits in. So, for example, if green can kill this Drake Fighter, and I believe it should kill the green Drake Fighter, then we are in an absolutely fantastic position. Now, this rogue is going to play an important part here. We do have the burner though, which is going to be annoying, but it remains to be seen how impactful it can be. These red units are absolutely doing nothing now. He could perhaps grab this village here, but I doubt he will. Even push his leader here on this village, to be honest, because it's going to be a leader battle. So I'm going to put this here. You know, because it's going to, the units are going to converge in this area, and I feel that he should be helping me. Again, we are putting more pressure in this area. That's why I'm encouraging him to bring his leader there. We are trying to discourage all this Drake bunch to keep pushing into this meat grinder. Hopefully, this is what we hope to be a meat grinder, right? So I would say it's important to keep track whether you are behind or ahead. because, of course, when taking decisions, you have to take them accordingly. You can't simply um, assume that you are ahead and play in a bold manner when you are actually behind and you should be retreating. Not really sure whether we have some sort of delay or not. Well, might be that I have some delay. Not really sure. Yeah. Just gonna check if I'm still connected. Well, apparently I am still connected, so I'm not really sure. Okay, there it is. There is. Great, that was an important kill as well. Further discouraging him from moving forward. Plus, this wounded Saurian Oracle, if he does decide to stay here, then obviously the Saurian Oracle is going to die and it's going to feed us more experience. Now, it's a bit painful for... Okay, I was about to say, it's a bit painful for purple, right? Because he invested a lot of effort here. Oh, 4 out of 4. That is just terrible. 4 out of 4 is just terrible. Oh, that is just so painful there. That was just too much damage, I feel. But I will be going for this burner. And that's again a lot of damage there on that fighter. We are behind in terms of villages. It would be beneficial if this Dwarvish Steelclad could ever recruit. Afraid he will never be able to. But we shall see. I'm not really sure that I can do anything because I only have 2 units left. So from this perspective... Oof, just 2 units left. It's not looking good. It kind of spiraled out of control on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could go for this rogue if it wanted to. but it's 70%, so I'm going to bank on this 70%. And that's basically it. He can lead a kill. Well, it's 20% here on this Fire Drake, so not really sure. Anyways, gentlemen, I believe this was all we will see. This is basically all we tried. I'm not really sure that we can come back from this. There it is, leader kill on our red player. Not really sure though that I can survive this. It would be incredibly incredibly difficult. Now purple has a choice here. Again, I'm banking on this 60%, basically trying to dodge as much as possible. Probably it's not going to work, especially considering how much he has been hitting this turn. So afflicted, say, taken plus 54%. That is absolutely insane. This particular oracle has basically made things spiral out of control. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We have just lost the game. I would say entertaining game. We could have played a bit better, but we should have camped a bit more rather than attacking this 60% Saurian Augur, which was a 60% target, was not a village, and it dealt a lot of retaliation damage. Anyway. So I will also stay here until the leader kill actually happens. I hope you, ladies and gentlemen, like this game. It's a bit unusual. Again, Isar is, to be fair, one of the most imbalanced maps out there. I did not play it properly. If I would have played it properly, I wouldn't have attacked the Saurian Augur. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you liked it, and I shall see you next time.